was expecting.
Just a gabagoo. It's a me. Am I?
Not even that. Like literally just scream.
Yeah, it doesn't go through because of my mic.
All
Too
right,
sophisticated.
should be good. Walt, would you mind checking on audio?
No.
Well, then you can get your
No,
ass.
I don't mind. I said I don't mind, yeah. That's what I meant. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Man, this man, he just woke up. I think you had a little bit of breakfast, so and Walt's the one that just woke
Nah, man, I literally just woke up like 5 minutes ago.
up. All right.
The difference is I actually got more than 6 hours of sleep. So yes,
Is
sir. Yes,
is
sir.
is it weird that I don't know if you guys experience it, but any more than 7 hours of sleep for me, I'm just even more tired and groggy. Or is it just me?
I think it's just you.
Oh
Well, I
man,
mean, I
where's my
know. No,
confirmation bias here? I need it right now. Where
nah.
is it?
To be fair, I know that happens to a lot of people, but uh, not me for whatever reason.
Yeah, we sound okay. We sound good.
All right, cool.
Okay. Guys, this is DualShock Sense, episode 90.
That's a nice change of pace.
Wow, that's a flashback to episode 1 with the awkward intro. Good job there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was trying to just I was just trying to ease us in there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, this is episode 90. You guys know what it is. DualShock Sense. I'm your host, Soul, the connoisseur anime waifu, is joined by my two co-hosts. I have Macho here. How you doing, man?
We're doing good, man. It's the King of Kingdom Hearts and the Final Fantasy fanatic. Man, what a insane week of everything related to games. I'm excited to dive into it. A little apprehensive, but regardless, I think we're just gonna have fun. And shout out to Vin Diesel. Um, Shout out to Vin Diesel in your Lord of the Rings comparison, man. You're on some big brain, smooth brain energy. Excuse me with that comparison
Man.
to the Fast
Bro really,
franchise.
bro really thought he said something crazy.
Wild stuff,
Uh,
man. But yeah.
we also got Walt here. How you doing, man?
Hey, good morning. That Vin Diesel thing reminded me of the TikTok that's like, what are you doing, bro? You're not the thinker. Well, for him, it's what are you doing, bro? You're not the philosopher. This man thought, hey, I've been in 10 movies that are just progressively getting wackier. I'm gonna compare myself to probably the best fantasy movies ever created. But
I saw someone comment on that. They were like, yes, my two favorite mythologies, Fast and the Furious and The Lord of the Rings."
Did you guys see the trailer for Fast X?
I did
No.
it. I saw one clip and I was like, that's exactly why I don't watch these movies.
So
What are they gonna do now? They've been to space.
well, for this one, I mean, I haven't watched all of them. I only watched like maybe 2 or 3 of them, but there are great popcorn flicks, but one part in this trailer, man. So, so Vin Diesel's car gets harpooned by 2 helicopters chasing him.
And that's the clip I saw.
That's the clip you saw, yeah, and he jumped off of one, and then he crashed both of them together.
And my girl Michelle Rodriguez, God bless her, she was like, "Dumb."
Oh, that's a great impression.
Thanks, man. But yeah, we got this week wasn't too eventful, but we still have some topics here to discuss. I want to remind everyone to go ahead and like the podcast, share it out, and consider subscribing to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that. We have some pretty cool stuff coming up soon on the pipeline. Um, yeah, with that aside, let's talk about the games that we've been playing. Walt, do you want to jump in first? Because I think me and Macho have a similar game that we've been playing.
Yeah, and similar to not you two, I haven't been playing that specific game.
Doki Doki Universe.
Yeah, Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Very
one.
good.
Yeah, that's the one. We're playing the
Like,
sequel. We're playing the sequel.
yeah, Doki Doki Theater Club.
Damn, this man's 8 years ahead into the future. God damn.
Now, man, this week has been light on gaming. I've been mostly just focusing on real life stuff. I mean, not the games aren't real life, but more future plans and setting up some stuff and all that. So I haven't been gaming too heavy. I put some time here and there to Dead Space. Uh, if we all know that is phenomenal. It's I'm actually scared, and I love that. I wasn't scared with the OG one, and I've been playing too much Marvel Snap. I've been playing that more than any other game this last week. Because I play it the most during like my breaks at my job or during commuting. Man, there's nothing to say about that game. It's just that it's really addicting. I can finish all of my missions and all of my dailies, and I will continue to log in thinking, "Oh, there's probably more dailies." Nope, I just did them 5 minutes ago. But man, what a game! What an addicting game! Got a lot of decks going on right now. I'm rocking the Apocalypse deck, focusing on powering up that Apocalypse by slicing him and discarding him with Lady Sif. Uh, Aside from that, man, I haven't really been gaming too much on my console, other than Dead Space and what was that other game I was playing? I think it was I played a little bit of Witcher, I think, in the beginning of this week. But that's about it, man. It's been really light. I want y'all to take over the magical world y'all have been diving into this past week.
Why'd you say it like that, man?
Because y'all weirdos. Y'all like magic and you're little children.
Yeah, yo.
That's wild coming from Persona 5 fanboy.
Nah, let's not get crazy here.
Come on, man. Come on, dog. Dive into the heart.
Oh man.
I'll do that again, man.
Yes, sir.
What are you trying to say?
Yes, sir.
They dropped the Persona 5 Royal Super Remastered Edition. I'd pick it up right now, man.
Did you pick up the one that on PS5?
Nah, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But just know that I would. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Macho, we could kind of get started. Well, have you been playing anything besides the game that shall not be named?
I have actually. I mean, the most notable thing, I'm kind of diving back and forth between Breath of the Wild. So I just want to kind of get my feet wet after the Nintendo Direct for Tears of the Kingdom. I've been playing the Theater Rhythm Final Bar demo a little bit, and then yesterday I actually delved into the Sea of Stars demo, which is the JRPG. I think it's made from the same dev that made The Messenger. And it's super solid, man. It's a free demo on Switch out right now. I think it's coming out a little later for other platforms, maybe next month or something like that. Just check on their Twitter for like when it actually releases. But overall, this is actually a really, really cool JRPG. Like the music is top, the graphics are beautiful. Oh my god, this thing on an OLED screen is ridiculously gorgeous. And the gameplay is actually really fun too. It's a little more involved than just a regular turn-based action. Or turn-based RPG. There's a little more button presses involved, whether it's regarding combos or having two characters attack at once, which they call a combo, but more or less when the character has the individual skills, you're able to do more button presses. So it's kind of like Final Fantasy VI in that regard, but it's a lot of fun. They kind of just throw you right into the middle of the demo, so you're not really entranced by the story or the characters or anything like that. It's more just the visuals and sort of like the ambiance of the game that really sells it. But overall, I'm sold. I think this is gonna be This is gonna be a day one purchase in August when it comes out. So yeah, Sea of Stars is what I've been playing yesterday. But other than that, I've been pouring a bunch of hours into the game that shall not be named.
So I mean, let's just get into it.
Let's do it.
So I'm gonna start this topic off because I'm just gonna come out and say that the lady at GameStop who was very cute, and maybe that plays into the reason why this happened to me. She bamboozled me, man. I'm gonna say that she pulled a fast one on me.
Hey yo.
No pun intended with Dom and all that. Anyway,
And we're crazy. Jesus
Jeez,
Christ.
yo,
Man.
so man, one lady at GameStop, he's a different man. What's going on?
This man said, "I saw a woman for the first time in my life."
Listen, man, the energy is off the charts right now.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah. So look, I pulled up to GameStop, did my little strut through the front door, and I walk up to the clerk and I'm like, "Yo, y'all got y'all got that Hogwarts Legacy or what?" And she was like, "Yeah, we actually have the digital deluxe version or whatever because a lot of people didn't like pick up their pre-orders or whatever." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sure, I'll buy that." And for whatever reason, my mind just thought that like she was like doing me like a solid, like giving me that version for like the price of like the normal edition.
Yeah.
So it did like so I was just like, "Oh yeah, sure," put in my card, all that, paid for it, walked out, said, we said our goodbyes. It didn't register with me until I got home that like I literally paid like an extra like $20 for this thing. Um,
And
so
you got it
Yeah.
Friday? You got it yesterday?
no, I got it. Well, okay, so you let me know when the release date for this thing was like yesterday, right?
The official launch was December 10th, yes. But for people that bought the
December?
deluxe edition, I'm sorry, not December. What's this month?
February.
It's
Jesus
February.
Christ.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I need to drink more of this coffee. So this thing's supposed to be released on February 10th, so yesterday. And the digital deluxe buyers got 72-hour early access, so it released for them
Sure.
on Tuesday.
Gotcha. Okay. So I got it. I think. Oh, Thursday. I got it on Thursday because I went after work and picked it up. I got it on Thursday, not knowing that they did that whole BS. Yo, you get to play a couple days early. When in reality, like that, no, like that's actually the release date. I don't know why game companies do that. I really hate that. So like, yeah, I walked into that one, did not know that was even a thing with Hogwarts Legacy, and. Yeah. So I'm gonna say she pulled a fast one on me, man, because I didn't. She made it sound like it was a normal thing. Like, oh yeah, some people didn't pick up their pre-order, so like, hey, you can have this one if you want. I was like, oh yeah, sure. Anyway,
My man walked in with a fresh haircut, thinking he's gonna get the normal price for the deluxe edition. Oh man.
yeah, man. Anyway, yeah. So I picked it up on Thursday. Haven't really put too much time into it, but I'm really kind of like I don't know, maybe blown away is kind of like too strong of a word, but like let's just say pleasantly surprised. That's a better word or a better way to phrase it. I'm pleasantly surprised because this was just one of those games that like I feel like you're not really sure of, even though like we saw, more and more gameplay. Um, I don't know. I just had like a a sneaky feeling that like this wasn't gonna be all that good. Um, Maybe because like I hadn't heard of like the developer before. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I just didn't have much confidence going into it, and then like actually playing it and just like exploring the castle itself. The fact that the game is actually like very very beautiful, the music, um, the sort of again just the RPG elements. Like I don't know, like everything is really really working for me so far. Only having played like 4 or so hours. Um, so yeah, I'm really digging it. What about you, Macho?
I'm 10, 12 hours into the game right now. And I mean, I would say that I'm blown away, honestly. Just the attention to detail is ridiculous. And to more comment on what you're saying, so about the developers, so Avalanche Software is known for mostly for licensing games or licensed games rather in their past. So they did stuff like Chicken Little, Toy Story games. I think they did a Prince of Persia game too. But you might,
Normally that would be a red flag.
yeah, I know, right? But they also, I think you might actually like this. They also did Attack and the Power of Juju.
Oh man.
It's always all over it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so and they were also known for Disney Infinity, which was
Wait. I never said I had a good time with that game.
it's one of those weird PS2 games. I was like, yo, he might like that one.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic.
Yeah, no, you play you. What do you play on Wii? Like every game?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, so they don't have like the most extensive background, but the fact that they came into Hogwarts Legacy with firing on all cylinders, like really delivering a worthwhile, huge, chunky single player open world game is magnificent. Just getting out of the castle soul, I was just blown away. I did a stream yesterday that did more of the exploration outside, and one of the reasons why, so to kind of preface this, one of the reasons why I fell in love with Red Dead Redemption 2 is because I went off the beaten path and I actually explored. So minus the story and the characters and what the gameplay drip that Hogwarts Legacy was doing that I was already loving, I just went on foot and just explored from one end of the map to the other, and I was just finding all sorts of secrets, puzzles, enemies to fight. There's nothing super crazy and outlandish like a Red Dead Redemption 2, like seeing like a random instance happening in front of you that I've seen so far. A lot of it's more just they give you a lot of toys in the toy box, but they're scattered across the room, sort of thing. And it was just really fun. I'm just blown away by all the attention to detail and how true it is to the books and the lore. Like if you're someone that have watched the movies or read the books, you're gonna catch a lot of nods and hints to all those references and from the source material. So it's really cool to see they did their homework. Yeah, I agree with you on the music too. It's absolutely fantastic, and this game comes also with a couple of really great modes. So as far as like performance modes, so like there's balance, there's fidelity with ray tracing, performance HDR or something like that. I think it's high rate performance, something like that, HRF or something like that. And I messed around with all of them, and all just perform really well, man. I'm currently rocking with fidelity ray tracing. Even though it's at 30 frames per second, it's a little more, obviously a little more slower than the performance stuff, but I think just the benefits and quality is so worth it, especially exploring the castle.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really don't. I think my favorite thing so far is just like the castle itself is just like just how I felt about like Night City in general, just how like amazed I was and just how into that location I was like as a setting. Like it's literally it's that classic thing of like, oh, the setting is a character of itself, right? And like I literally just like my favorite thing is just walking around this castle and just like seeing the weird like almost like non-scripted like random things that you run into, right? It
Mm-hmm.
almost feels like it's not necessarily um like it's just like part of it's just everyday life of this castle. Like it's not necessarily like the game developers are like, okay, let's do this like specific like scripted moment. It just feels like you're this kid that's just like these things are just happening, like it's another Tuesday at Hogwarts, right? Like it's a natural
Yeah.
everyday thing, right? That you're running into something weird happening at the castle. Like I went into randomly like one of the classrooms, and there was this student like with two other students, and they were like doing this like fire spell, and like she was like breathing fire out of her mouth like a dragon, and then like it was like shooting out of her ears, and that was like totally just like a random like I just walked up to that just randomly happening, right? And then there's a bunch of other just random weird things like that that I love running into. How about you, man? Do you feel the same way about those just like random things that you stumble upon?
Yeah, I was wondering what you would run into actually. This is why I'm glad you elaborate on that because I ran into a couple things already. When it comes to like a secret passage or something like that, I saw a cool reference to the books and the movies when I think it's in the bathroom that's near the charms class, and there's actually a pot brewing with a potion, and I think it's a reference to the books because in the book two slash movie two, Hermione actually is brewing a potion inside of the girls' laboratory that no one goes inside because there's a ghost in there. So I thought that was like a really cool nod to this to the books and everything. One of the things I actually came across the other day and actually saw the developers mentioning it on a live stream yesterday during launch day was a room that's filled with all these different pictures that obviously come to life and move just like how the movies and books do. But in this case, all the pictures are all music players. So it's essentially like a band gathered in one place, and they're just playing and kind of creating a nuisance, but also creating some really cool music. And you see people reacting to it and everything. I'm just like that. Like again, all this stuff is like not scripted and super cool, and you can miss everything here. And the castle is just huge in itself. So there's a bunch of these things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, the castle to me so far is the star of the show, and just like how like I like it'll be like I know I have to get to class to like, goddamn defense against the dark arts, but I'm like, what if I just like go left instead and explore this whole other section of the castle and then like just see what's over here. Um, it's really cool. Um,
What
and like I
house are you
love
in?
Ravenclaw. I chose Ravenclaw.
Oh, nice, nice.
Um, and like, so walking into this, I didn't know like, I was kind of radio silent, so I didn't know how much of an RPG it was. So, like, I didn't know that like, oh, you get to create your own character. The whole like gear system, like this is all stuff that I love in RPGs, and so it makes sense why I'm loving this game already. But and then there's like dialogue options. And like one of one of my favorite moments already was like I was doing like a side quest for this character. I forget what she wanted. Oh, it was like something about like she was like in the library, and like all of the pages of like her diary like fucking went flying around in the library or whatever, and she
Yeah,
needs
I
someone
think her
like,
name's Carissita.
yeah. So she like needs someone to like retrieve them. Um, so I went and did that for her, and like, and I love that I could like mold my character into this way. Like I'm kind of thinking about molding her into like the dark side or whatever. Um, so like I come back to the girl, and I got all her pages, and like basically this diary is this girl talking some ish about her classmates,
Oh,
and
you actually saw it?
yeah. So
I didn't see it, so I didn't know. I didn't look at her pages. I just gave them back to her. That's hilarious.
yeah, so I bring them back to her, and this MFer was really about to walk away, not giving me payment. So I was like, "Hey, listen here, 12-year-old girl." I was like, if you don't want this information getting out, if you don't want me to tell all these things that you've been talking ish about, you better give me some payment for my work." And she was literally like, "Man, I knew I shouldn't have trusted you," or something like that, bro. So like, I don't know. I just love that, I can bully these kids around. I can do that if I want, you know. So,
Oh, you could do that
uh,
with shop peddlers and even teachers to a degree, man.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
completely. There's one quest I got from the potions guy in Hogsmeade, and he wanted me to deliver some ingredients to like get to the other side of the map. It just wouldn't. I went on cool and like endeavor, just exploring. And I came back. The dude gave me 50 gold for the delivery. I was like, what the hell? And you could have like told him like, hey, I want more money. Like it was a lot. But I was like, nah, I'll be nice. But I only got like 50 gold. I was like, dude, come on. This is like, I spent more on the healing potion I just bought for this damn journey.
yeah, for sure. So I love that they give you that flexibility. And then also like I don't know about I'm assuming that you probably you sided with Natty or whatever her name is, the Gryffindor girl.
Oh yeah. She's the transfer student from
Uganda.
something like that. Yeah, but she's from the African school of witchcraft and wizardry or whatever it is. But
Right.
yeah, that was a cool nod
Mhm.
because we never really got that in the books or the movies, so that was really cool that she's included.
Right. So like I sided with the Slytherin boy, the Sebastian or whatever.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, it's just fun because like clearly he's like I don't know, like he doesn't play by the rules, that kind of thing. Um I mean like literally our first conversation after we had that like initial duel was like, "Hey, there's this like kind of sneaky off the grid sort of illegal like dueling club that we have here at the school. I think you would be a pretty good fit for it." And I was like, "You know what? Hell yeah, I'll join this illegal club." So yeah, I just love that I can get up to trouble with like things like that. Um So yeah, man, I'm having a great time with the game. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else is there to really say about it. I'm really really enjoying it.
Nice, yeah. I mean, so me being 10 to 15 hours into it, um, again, I'm absolutely just loving this game. I think it's so charismatic, and like you said, the Hogwarts being the character is something I really hoped for. And it's one thing to kind of say and kind of present that, and you kind of get like a sense of it. Just leading up to the game, I just had this innate sense that this was going to be a great game because the developers were pouring everything they got into this, and you can tell just from like the trailers that I've seen and sort of the developer interviews and stuff like that. So to kind of really see it flesh out and really be involved with the entire world and feel like my character matters in this space, it's really cool. It's something I've always wanted as a Harry Potter fan, man. Just ever since I read the books, it was that universe and that world is so cool. And it's just and pun intended magical that they captured that in the game so much. I'm actually a Gryffindor in this case, but I do want to do other playthroughs as the other houses just to see, if maybe I could change some dialogue here and there or whatever. But the common rooms, man, they're so dope. I love all of them, but I have to say Hufflepuff has like the coolest Lord of the Rings, Shire, Hobbit kind of like ambiance to it that just is so cool. But the Ravenclaw one, dude, in the tower, so sleek,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely cool.
It's definitely pretty cool. And it's funny that you say that because I think initially when they put it's called like the Sorting Hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they put that on my big ass head, they put me initially in Hufflepuff, and I was like, no, no, go back, go back. Think about Hufflepuff.
Oh, you're definitely not a Hufflepuff. I was thinking you're either Slytherin or
Yeah,
Ravenclaw.
yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, Slytherin they're not bad people. The thing is, in the books and movies, there's a hard prejudice against Slytherin because of sort of their legacy and really more or less like their segregation of purebloods and half bloods. Purebloods being people that are born with in magic families and wizard families, and then obviously half blood being that half human or half real world, half wizard, and then they call Muggle, which is like the non magical people. So they kind of had like a bad rep and like the entire the franchise in whole. So, but I like that it gave you Sebastian though because he's a little devious. He's like a little mischievous too, but he's not like a bad dude. He just
Yeah.
kind of bends the rules a little bit. But he also I'm farther in the story and I'm far with more of his side quests, and he's a really genuine dude. Like he just again he's a little bit of a bad boy, but like he just likes to have fun and he's there for you. Like I trust him as a character to have my back, which is really cool to like feel like that. And same thing with Natty too, because she's really humble and courageous and just wants to kind of get to the grit, like the grit and meat of like whatever situation that you're in, which is what the story set up like in the beginning with you being attuned to ancient magic and stuff like that. So they do a really good job. What did you think of the intro though, with the flying carriage and then the big surprise with the dragon?
Um, I thought it was cool, but the part that I was really really like that kind of like I don't know, just like I guess I okay, oh yeah, I'll say blew me away was like going through the banks. Like that was so cool. Like just like
Oh, Green Grot's Bank, yeah.
yeah, yeah, like that was really really cool. Just seeing like uh, because like obviously yeah, you got a sense of just like how enormous that place is in the movies, but yeah, just like actually playing through it, just like looking around and just seeing the scale of it in in a game form was like really really like an experience for me. Um, I also love like little first of all I love because not every game does this like still. But I love when games do like whenever you're entering buildings or stuff like that, and there's no loading screens. Like you just push open the door and you're immediately inside like a shop or the next room of inside the castle or whatever. Sometimes there's like a little you have to wait. There's like a little bit of like a loading, but most of the times it's just like literally if you walk up to a door, you just push it open and bam, you're inside. So I really love that. Um, but the thing I was gonna talk about was I love the cases. There hasn't been too many of it so far, but those like little like when you can see it's almost like a window, but you could see like the other side. Like the other side of it is like a completely like different like room or area, and you just like walk through it. It's almost like the Ratchet and Clank like rifts where like you would literally be in like one level and you walk through the rift and it brings you to like an entire different like area like like a snap of a finger. It almost feels like that a little bit where like if you remember at the beginning of the game where you start at like the ruins or whatever and there's like this like giant like window thing like up against like one of the walls and then like it brings you inside like I think like the bank or whatever or or that place where you meet that little goblin guy for the first time or whatever. um, those have been like really cool running into those.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. You do that a couple more times, at least from what I played through the story. Like there's like this one big cave that you just adventure through, and then you get through a couple more of those dimensions. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, it's really cool. Also one little nitpick. This is the tiniest of nitpicks. Um, I seeing Portkey Games Hogwarts Legacy like Portkey Games, bro. Like get that out of there, bro. You do not need that on the title. It just makes the title lame for whatever reason.
Oh man, I love that. It was such like a movie thing, you know,
Why? Why is that?
from the actual movies itself. Like you're talking about the intro sequence, right, where they have like going through the clouds, you see WB games and stuff like that.
So just like literally just like whenever you see the title of the game, Portkey Games is always there. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's almost like the whole Hideo Kojima game, but it's like Portkey Games. You're not Hideo Kojima, you know.
I didn't even notice that actually. I thought you were talking about like the beginning intro. That's hilarious.
No.
I gotta check that out the next time.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just lame. Like Porky Games is just like I don't know, man. And it's like if I'm Avalanche, I'm feeling some type of way. Like I'm sure Porky Games had a pretty they played a pretty big role. They're not like the publisher per se, because obviously that's WB. But like yeah, Porky Games obviously played a big role into this, because like that's like the whole like publishing arm for like Harry Potter games in general. But it's like y'all didn't develop the game, Avalanche did. So it's like I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like if I was the developers, I would be feeling some type of way seeing their name on the front of the box and not ours. But
Oh yeah, I don't
it's
blame
whatever.
you there. Yeah, especially since they poured all the heart and soul into this. But there's a lot of collaboration, but still, all the creativity definitely came from the Avalanche developers, and man, did they knock it out of the park. It's quite amazing. Um, you talked a little bit about the RPG aspect, Soul, and I'm glad that you brought that up because the game keeps building on itself. 12 hours in, and there's still stuff to do and learn. And I love it again, just the trickle of gameplay that I'm getting. So like eventually, so you start out in not in Hogwarts, but in this separate area, and then eventually you get to the school, you get sorted, and then you start learning a couple spells here and there, and then around 10 hours into it is when you get your broom, so you can finally start flying around the area, right? So or at least around that time frame, depending on how long you play. Um, and then just this morning, I got the room requirement, which is where my character is gonna be settling in to catch up on their schoolwork. So, but essentially, this is your place to kind of hang out, make potions, uh, cultivate plants for different potions, and a couple other things that you can do in this place. Um, and on top of that, the gameplay systems with the RPG elements of it, you actually can upgrade spells and everything. Because I thought it was just gonna be pretty barren if we just get these spells and we can't really do anything else other than just equip them to like our face buttons. But they actually do get upgraded, so it's you unlock that a little later into the story, but it adds a lot more depth than I would realize at first. and you have to be really really careful with what you choose, because you don't get a lot. You don't get a lot of points to spend on these different sort of attributes. So it's more just like every time you level up, you get 1 point, and then you get to really choose what kind of play style you want to like ventured into in order to make your own character and stuff like that. So it's really in depth and really cool. I'm really satisfied with what they've been doing.
Yeah, me too. It's one of those games where like I can't wait to like sit down and play it again, you know.
Yeah, it's addicting, isn't it? Just exploring and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it definitely is. So yeah, man. I mean, let's move on because I think Walt fell asleep over there, man. So
he just hit the bathroom right now, so he's good. He's probably gonna be gone for a couple more minutes.
that's what took him so long. Damn. Oh, he literally just did. God damn.
Yeah, he literally just went there right now.
Um, but hey, man, let's just keep going without him, man. That's on him. I mean, we could wait for him to get back for the Nintendo Direct stuff.
Yeah.
But let's. Do you want to tackle the PlayStation rumors first, or a little bit more about The Last of Us?
Let's do the PlayStation rumors. Yeah, let's do PlayStation rumors because that's gonna be an easy one.
Right. Okay, so essentially, it's what is it? Different month, same story. Another PlayStation rumor.
From a good old guy, Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, so we had good old Jeff Grubb come out and say that there should be a low key. He said specifically a low key state of play at the end of this month, followed closely behind a big PlayStation PS5 showcase, the one that we had in 2021 and the two that we had in 2020. So similar to those. He said before E3, but I'm like, is that like really like the state of play is more specific, but like him saying that a big PS5 showcase is coming before E3 is kind of like me saying, "Oh, the sky's gonna be blue today," like I don't. That's not a scoop to me,
Yeah, that's just a get. It's a guess what we had on this podcast, man. Why aren't people sourcing us?
Right?
We literally said that. Oh man, like maybe near the end of last year, where we're talking about when's the next showcase that can possibly be. We're like, well, it's definitely gonna be after PSVR 2. That makes sense, and then possibly around E3 time.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Sure. You heard it here first. Come
on. But yeah, man. I mean, this is, the state of play is probably gonna be whatever. But with the showcase specifically, like I feel like this is because we've talked about it in the past that like Sony has definitely changed their philosophy in terms of, and we've seen Neil Druckmann talk about this with Naughty Dog, that they're no longer in the business of showing games that are like 3-4 years out. We've gone through the list of like pretty much everything that was revealed in that original 2020 PS5 future gaming event was out within the first 2 years, or within like the next 2 years of it being announced. And so like now we're kind of waiting, like, okay, like what does the next 2 years look like for PS5? So I'm definitely expecting for this showcase, like we need to see like what is the pipeline for not only 2023 but 2024 and 2025. And I don't know, that's really exciting to me because I feel like, okay, that's definitely when we should be seeing the things like, okay, what is Naughty Dog's next, new IP? What is possibly Santa Monica working on next, right? Like all those big things. I feel like it's time to finally see those things.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that our low-key state of play for maybe the beginning of March, end of February, anything after PSVR 2 is going to be the third-party stuff. So your Street Fighter 6, your Resident Evil 4 remake, maybe Stellar Blade or something. That's an exclusive. I think Stellar Blade would be like something for that PlayStation showcase. along with Spider-Man 2 and maybe like a reveal of whatever Naughty Dog has been cooking up, maybe something from The Last of Us multiplayer. But a lot of stuff that we've been kind of talking about for the past couple months, I think we're going to start seeing, at least if not full-on gameplay reveals, absolutely teases of what's to come. But I think they're going to be playing this year a little bit more safer, considering there's a lot more third-party stuff in the pipeline than there is first-party.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see, because yeah, it is definitely like a weird year in terms of like first party. Like obviously we know like they have, MLB, Spider-Man, and Horizon Call of the Mountain. But it does look like, and any other year it's like, hey, that's three first party games right there, but it still doesn't feel like enough. Um, but yeah, as you said, the third parties feels like it's gonna do a lot of the heavy lifting with like, exclusive games like Final Fantasy and Stellar Blade. You would think something like Lost Soul Aside also comes out this year. Who knows?
That's a good one
Right.
too.
And then of course you also have which Lost Soul Aside is like a Sony Interactive Entertainment published game. And then you also have like exclusive indies like Eternites, which I'm really really looking forward to. That I think they said is coming out summer 2023. So
Yeah, we got a nice little update on a couple of indies yesterday. Yeah.
right. So yeah, I mean there's definitely gonna be like no shortage of stuff to play. It's just that sort of thing of like what's on the horizon after God of War Ragnarok. And one thing that I do want to point out is that if you remember in the PS4 era, E3 2016, which was 3 years into the PS4's life cycle, well, 2.5 years into the PS4's life cycle, that was when we got the blowout of like basically what the rest of the generation was gonna look like for PS4, right? That's when we got The Last Guardian, the God of War reveal, Days Gone reveal, Detroit Become Human, the Spider-Man reveal, the Death Stranding reveal, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So like I like, and it's not like they're like, it's not like that's like a habit or like that's track record. This is just me like convincing myself in my or creating my own narratives, I guess. But like, if you want to look at what they did last generation, we are now 2.5 year or coming up on June, we will be 2.5 years into the PS5's life cycle. So like, it would be interesting to see like, back in the PS4 era, 2.5 years. That's when the first party ball was like really, really starting to like, like fire on all cylinders, right? With all these different projects being announced. So like, I do wonder how is that going to be compared with the PS5? Like, is this the year where we are going to have that big showcase where it's going to be like, okay, here's first party after first party after first party revealing project after project after project. I'm really going to be curious to see like if it's going to be a repeat of that.
I think you're onto something because June is when 16 comes out. And what perfect time to announce all the stuff that's coming out on your system after a highly anticipated game that looks amazing from every trailer that we saw so far, you know?
Yeah.
And I think they're playing their cards right with a lot of the games they are getting deals on, and indie games are getting deals on. Because one of the ones that we got an update on was Pacific Drive for yesterday, and that game looks awesome. It's a roguelike car driving survival game like that. It sounds weird on paper, but the gameplay looks awesome either way. But and then we just had Hogwarts Legacy, which was PlayStation had the marketing rights on this one, and this game is doing absolutely crazy juggernaut numbers even on PC. Like before the game actually launched yesterday, Friday, this game was seeing nearly 500,000 people on Steam alone, which is absolutely crazy. And so that game's gonna do crazy numbers. And you know what the next thing's coming up? That's a third party game that they have exclusive marketing rights to.
RE4.
No, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Oh yeah.
Which
Who knows when that's coming out?
I know it's I'm hoping this year, but I think that the end of this year is where we're supposed to get Avatar 3 as well, if I'm not mistaken. Either this year or next year we're getting Avatar 3. But either way, the fact that PlayStation is going to be, in a sense, synonymous with that game is going to be something of itself. If it could be a success, it could be a flop. We'll see. It could be Forspoken, could be a Hogwarts Legacy. We'll find out the closer we get to that damn game. But either way, I think when it comes to first party stuff, yeah, I'm super curious. I think we're gonna get that this year. I mean, I hope we do, because I really want to know what these other studios are working on, man. I want to see some updates to Last of Us multiplayer, or what Corey's been working on ever since the end of God of War 2018. So, man, I'm excited.
For sure, for sure. Wall, are you back? God damn, this man's still out. Okay.
That man is he's reading a magazine right now. Jesus Christ.
So he forgot there was a podcast on today, man.
Oh, he says he has a stomach ache. That's why. Yeah. So yeah. He said, "Oh."
So let's move on to the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, man.
Obviously you watched it. What were some of the highlights from it? I know the Metro Prime Remastered was announced at Shadow Drop. That's really cool. I will never have slander for Metroid. But obviously that was one of the bigger announcements. But what were some other takeaways for you?
That Xenoblade 3 DLC trailer, bro. I don't know if you've seen the reaction to this, but the Xenoblade fandom was in their bag, man. Because this trailer, it showed off the actual, what was it? The contents of the next DLC wave, which was a new character. And in Xenoblade 3, when you recruit characters, essentially is one, adding them to your party, but two, also kind of like adopting their attire. So you get to see Noah, Mio, and Uni and all these new different outfits and stuff like that, which is really cool. Plus you can get that character's gameplay class. So that's what makes characters dropping to Xenoblade 3 so exciting. But they're also adding it's sort of like a roguelike mode where you drop into it and you don't have anything. I don't think you have equipment or like certain abilities, and you kind of get them as you progress through like the different stages, which is really cool. So they're already adding like a replayability to it, like we haven't seen in Xenoblade game before, which is really nice. So people that love that gameplay system, which I argue it's the best out of the entire trilogy, there's more for you there, which is really cool. But the biggest takeaway from that trailer, Soul, was a tease of seeing Shulk, older Shulk, mind you, Rex, and Big Daddy Rex. We now know why Pyra and Mithra had this man's babies. Whoa. we thankfully Walt is not in here, so he can't hear this because it's a little bit of a spoiler.
I texted that I'm here.
well, the spoiler alert. But now we know why this man. The
man has a lot of them.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But so we saw Shulk, Rex, and Alvis, who's from Xenoblade 1. And I won't spoil what he is for you, Walt, but basically he is he's one of those really fun, mysterious characters where you don't really know where his allegiance lies, but by the end of the story you just absolutely kind of fall in love with the idea of his character and what it represents and everything. So the fact that in this trailer we have Rex calling him Heartless is like, for me, I'm just like, dude, what did he do? Wait, this guy's actually, he's a good guy. What happened? What makes it so that Rex is coming for this man's head? And same thing with Shulk. And then we also got a little bit of a snippet of a Noah and some sort of green energy, like kind of like evil like. And so like, did Noah turn bad? I was like, what's going on? So they're absolutely just gonna they're gonna do the work here for that Xenoblade 3 epilogue story, because what made Xenoblade 3 so great is that you had a cast of characters, you had a definitive ending for them that was bittersweet, but also it made sense, and it was actually a really good like kind of end cap to the entire story there. But there was like the back of my mind of like, okay, but what about the actual inclusion of different characters? Because other games did this before, where one character might show up in one game and or reference to another, whatever the case may be. And Xenoblade 3 DLC is going to answer all of that. And to put things into perspective for people that are kind of like lost on why Rex and Shulk are such a big deal. Think of it in this way: people lost their absolute shit when Andrew and Toby were in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right.
This is this
Spoiler.
whatever, everybody knows this. But that's the equivalent to this. Or actually saw another great example is when people saw Zack in Final Fantasy VII Remake and sort of like what's going on, what's
Yeah.
happening. That's the equivalent of Rex and Shulk showing up in the Xenoblade 3 DLC here with Noah. So it's gonna be
Absolutely.
crazy. Yeah, that was the biggest takeaway for me personally. Besides Metro Prime Remastered, the Zelda trailer I thought was okay. I think the reveal trailer was a little better, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I feel like the last two Zelda trailers have kind of been like okay. Like I this is very very like it's funny how I have like specific like memorized like some of these like really really specific details, but like the very the trailer for Breath of the Wild that came out with the whole first Switch reveal presentation, I think that like that January before it came out in March. That trailer for Breath of the Wild was sick, dude.
Yeah,
Um, so like, and then also going back to Tears of the Kingdom, the one with the reveal trailer for Tears of the Kingdom with both Link and Zelda going through like the tunnels or whatever, that gave like a very like almost Twilight Princess kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I just feel like the subsequent Tears of the Kingdom trailers just have not matched that initial reveal trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, or even the first trailer that I was talking about with Breath of the Wild that was at the Switch reveal presentation event.
yeah.
Have you guys felt that way too?
I agree for the latest one for sure. This one felt more cinematic in a sense, which was a little different, but I kind of like the mystery and the mysticism of Breath of the Wild's like mythology here, and that's why I really like the reveal trailer a little bit more because it was very mysterious in the caves and just seeing sort of these pictures on the wall or the stone wall of Zelda or where the case may be, and then you see Link run and the music just swelling up and he jumps off and it's amazing. But in this one again, it's more cinematic where we have Zelda telling or someone telling Link's like you can't do this alone, and then they see Link and then it just sweeps into big music. But man, I got super Marvel energy vibes from it because when Zelda or whoever's saying to Link in the trailers is and she goes, uh, you're not gonna be the only you can't be the only one that defeats him or whatever case may be. And then you see Link just jump off. I just picture in my head him saying, "Don't worry, I got this," and then jumps off the ledge to swelling music. Every time I see that now, that's all I think, and it kind of ruins it for me. But Walt, what do you think? Because did you watch the entire direct, or you just watch bits and pieces?
I watched bits and pieces of the things that, because it was during work. I was working, so I just watched what was the highlights for me, and a lot of things that we've seen before, like Raincoat, and we've seen Sea of Stars. That was a big one. There's a lot of games that they just followed up on. But I think that with Tears of the Kingdom, what I really liked about that trailer is that now Ganon or Calamity Ganon is more personified. There's more to him, and I think he's gonna be voiced by Matthew Mercer, which is the person that was doing the commentating or the little exposition throughout the trailer. Uh, that's exciting. I'm excited to see how they flesh out this Ganon, because this seems to be the most like ravage, like world-ending type Ganon, Calamity Ganon. It's like a very ancient evil. So I don't know if we've had Ganon like explored this way. So I'm glad that he has like an actual full-on voice. Uh, I mean, we just got more goodness. We got more gameplay, like little bits of gameplay and of the world. And I like the Master Sword and how it looks now. And that's the thing. I think while the trailer was great, I like that we got more images of how Link looks in this game, his outfit, like his traditional outfit in the game, what it's supposed to be, like the canon outfit, and essentially how the Master Sword is like corrupt or decaying or something. So I just like that this one kind of set up more of the lore that we don't really know what's going on, uh, but we can only assume that it's Calamity again and wreaking havoc. So I mean, aside from that one, Sea of Stars, Tales of Symphonia, more of that. What was the yeah, I think Raincoat is the one that's like a Persona meets Danganronpa, I think. Um but yeah, man. Metroid Remastered, that caught me. That was the one that caught me off guard because it's the thing like Elden Ring. Oh, that doesn't exist. That's not real. That's not a real game, you know. And I'm surprised that we didn't get another remaster. But if anything,
Yeah, I hear
I've
you.
learned that Nintendo likes to drip feed, so it won't be a while until we get either Metroid 2 remaster or another Zelda remaster. But it's gonna be a minute because they really like to tease people with their games.
What about a Metroid Other M remaster? You think we're gonna get that?
If anything, I don't know if a remaster, but I mean, if they go for more ports or like the Game Boy situation, that's the thing. I don't know which games they will remaster and which games they'll bring in the virtual console. You can only hope that they do a remaster because they did a fantastic job with Prime. Prime looks insane
Did
compared
you
to
buy
the
it?
original one. No, no, I just saw the comparison on by I think it was GameSpot, and it looks fantastic because I had downloaded Prime, Metroid Prime, in via other means, but now I can actually buy it.
Whoa.
The, the, the,
I was
the,
gonna say if he was gonna say it.
no, no, via other means because it has other consoles. But I think that this one, this might actually be the way that I experienced Metroid Prime because the first time I did was on the Wii, like a weirdo here. Uh, I,
Yes,
I
sir.
I bought
Yes,
the Metroid
sir.
Prime trilogy, baby.
I never played them, and
They're
I,
great.
yeah, I desperately want to now because I need another FPS to be obsessed about that's not Bioshock.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean it truly is one of the most greatly recognized and most acknowledged greatest acknowledged games Nintendo has ever made. Uh People keep clamoring that they want Metroid Prime 4 because it was announced with via a title card and that's all we had. That's all we have right now. It's Metroid Prime 4 coming. When? We don't know. In 10 years, could be 20, could be never, could get canceled, could be tomorrow. We don't know. It doesn't exist. I think Nintendo as a company doesn't exist. It's just a shadow company posing as a video game company. Nintendo's not a real thing.
But I mean, overall, was the direct like was it good or how would you guys like rate it?
Sorry, I was looking at what other studios were involved in like the Metro Prime remaster because I was really curious. A lot of developers worked on this thing. Um,
I mean,
so the
Octopath, goddamn.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler 2, yeah, that was that with a demo drop. That was awesome. I saw Flame going absolutely bonkers over it. He played it twice already, and with all the characters, he absolutely loves it. And I trust his opinion when it comes to those turn-based games. So I'm looking forward to picking that up later this month. And but overall, to answer your question, so I think the first half I was ready to call it out, man. I stopped playing Hogwarts Legacy for this thing, and I was like, dude, this is not it. Come on now, like it was just a bad paced showcase. I just was not interested in anything that was being shown. I should say. But then once we got to later half, we got some really cool reveals with Metro Prime Remastered. That was dope. The whole backwards compatibility with GBA and Game Boy games was really cool too. Like that's like super awesome for the people that have been wanting that. And they put like a bunch of games on there, including Golden Sun, which is for Golden Sun fans, I'm sure we're just praising the Sun after seeing that. And they finally got recognized by Nintendo. Um, but overall, I think it was a good showcase. It had some really solid reveals, but not everything was for me in that showcase. There was maybe like three things maybe I think out of it, but overall in the 40 minutes, I think it was like okay.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Just nothing. It sucks because the internet saturates you so much with rumors and oh this is possible and it's like yeah you just gave the point of the internet is like just so much information and so many constant rumors and speculations that like the best thing of this showcase, which is the Metroid Prime remaster, I was already anticipating for months. Uh, so I don't know. It was good. It's just that I don't think the magic for reveals is there sometimes for certain showcases. Uh, when the fan base is so vocal and they just speculate on absolutely everything. I think that's the beauty soul that you have that when the beauty of just disconnecting from Twitter. That's beautiful. That's gorgeous. I need to do that more often and not. That's why this week it was. I knew about the the topics, but I didn't really engage because the less you know, the happier you are. You know what I mean? That's the magic of releases and teasers. That's why Hi-Fi Rush took the world by storm because there was no trailer to let you know that this game was gonna come out. It just came out, and it became one of the greatest games of the year already. So I don't know. It was good. It was good for a Nintendo Direct. It was fine. It's a good start to the year.
For Nintendo Direct, it was alright.
It's all right. Yeah, because I mean, it just said, "Oh, all these games are coming to Switch." Also, look at the remaster. I'm like, okay. They're just saying what's coming to the Switch.
Yeah, man, that was the Nintendo Direct. Let us get into. I mean, so last night, we did immediately our post show for The Last of Us episode 5. How are we feeling now that we got to sleep on it and we had some time to process it? Because I know for me it's still my favorite episode of the season so far. This is one of those episodes where like episode 4, like I loved episode 4, but like I wasn't the only part I was really interested in seeing like people react to. By react to I mean like actually like watching like reaction videos to the episode was like the ending bit, which was Ellie telling the diarrhea joke. Like I really love that scene, and seeing them two like laugh about it. Like that was the only part I was really like wanted to see other people's reactions to. Episode 5 is one of those like rare episodes where like I want to see people's reactions to it like start to finish. So like today I'm literally just gonna be going through like as many like reaction videos as possible, and I cannot wait to do that today.
You masochist.
Yep. No, so actually it's funny that you bring that up because like last night I was actually watching a feed and I was like, you know what? I need to stop. I can't be watching this scene over and over again. Um, but like that goes to show like that's the kind of episode it was that like that I really want to watch like other people's reactions to this. So like yeah, how are you guys now that you've had time to sleep on it? Like how are you guys feeling about the episode now?
I mean, well, I'm refreshed now because I slept, but I'm still depressed. I'm still upset. I love the episode. I adore. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this show exists. This show is giving me that hope that good shows are not dead, and that this year was kicked off with one of the greatest shows ever made. And that episode is one of the just how they said that episode 3 is one of the greatest like single episodes in a show. I think that this is also one of the single greatest episodes in a show for both show fans and video game fans that have played the game. What do you think, Macho?
I feel like Squidward when when he was sick and his nose dropped out of his face and his face deflated with the green cap
man.
on. Do you guys remember that? It's
Oh yeah.
I feel like
feel?
I feel like that this morning. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I woke up like I had a hard night of work or something, and waking up depressed. I'm just like, damn, they really did it. And I was looking up clips of the Henry and Sam, that entire end scene of the Henry and Sam 2 in the game, just comparing it to the show and stuff like that, because I was just super fascinated with all the differences from the PS3 to the PS4 and then PS5 and then what we see in the show and stuff like that. And it's all really great stuff. I want to watch it again. And watch the reactions to it as well, because I did say before when we're going over these episode discussions that when this moment happens, if they do it, I want to see reactions because it's going to be absolutely crazy. especially for people that are not expecting it whatsoever. You know,
Yeah.
honestly, that everything leading up to the final bits of that episode was just anxiety inducing, and I think that's why I feel so exhausted because I was dreading it the entire episode. And then when it finally happened, it was like a not even a sense of relief, it was like a depression gut punch, and I was just like, oh god, this is tough.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Another thing that like it's also funny like seeing people on so like this is probably like on Tlu Sundays, or in this case Tlu Fridays, is when I'm on Twitter the most, because I love just going on, like clicking on the hashtag and just seeing like all the memes or people's reactions like as the episode is going. And one of my favorite things last night was people being like, the Tlu writers, or us being like, oh, well, this show can't get any sadder. And then the caption would be like Tlu writers with that one meme of like, I think it's like not Nelly, I don't know, like some like pop singer or whatever. That meme of them going like, watch this or whatever.
Oh,
So like,
you talking about Usher?
Usher, yeah.
My man said
I knew it
Nelly.
wasn't Nelly.
Oh
Yeah, I knew it
jeez.
wasn't Nelly. I was like, hey, Nelly's actually cool, man. But yeah, I just love like people who don't know being like, okay, like I'm safe this week, right? Like it can't get any worse than this, and then me, and then them making it to the other side of the episode and being like, God damn, it does get worse, you know?
You know,
So,
you spoke of reactions earlier, and I think the best thing of it this episode has provided us is that there's gonna be a reaction that absolutely everyone will have that hasn't played the game, and it's, you know, shoots at Sam, and then they're like, "Oh my god, he had to do that." Oh my, and then bam, and then he does what he does. I this is one of those rare moments where I'm gonna be repeating a specific set of seconds for the long time for a lot of reactions. Just like I repeated the, on your left, Cap. I'm gonna be repeating the what did I do? What did I do?
yeah.
Oh man.
And in that scene, which was we talked about it a little bit last night about the how we loved how in the game they just cut to black, and you kind of hear Ellie go, "Oh my god," and then it cuts to black, and then the fall at the bottom of the screen. And then we said last night how we loved the addition that they made of like showing the immediate aftermath. I also loved, and I didn't catch this on my first watch of the episode, was Ellie's gasp. Like, did you guys hear the noise that Bella Ramsey made as soon as Henry kills himself?
I did
Like
this morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
like it is so goddamn good, dude. The way that she makes that gasp, like I can't even describe it, but like that thing, it's just one of those noises that just like the way that she does it, it just like sticks in your mind, man. Like I feel like I can hear it like on repeat in my head, and it just like it gives me the chills every time, man. Um,
Like
so
Atreus when he sees the review of Odin, and he's like, I keep repeating that moment in my mind. I keep seeing his face, Sindri's face, and I'm like, I keep seeing Bella's face. I cannot get that scene out of my mind. It's such a great scene. God, Neil Druckmann is the biggest masochist making this story.
It's a cool like difference from the game too, because in the game Joel is the one that gasps, and that's significant because of the fact that you've been going through this game just often dudes the entire time, and clickers and bloaters and all that stuff. So for Joel to have a reaction to Henry's when Henry shoots the gun, um, when he shoots the gun, and to have him have the reactions, it's what it says about Joel is like he's seen death like this entire time, and it's like this one moment absolutely just shocks him, gives him all the emotional drama. And in this one, you just hear Joel yelp Henry's name in a way we haven't really heard Joel before, which was heartbreaking. But then, like you said, so Bella Ramsey's gasp was just everything you needed to really take away from that scene to see how that's gonna affect her.
He's such a
and
great
and
actor.
the way that the camera like stays on her face too. I feel like that's kind of like, even though we like how they did it in the game, once again, you kind of lose that, it's not seeing Ellie's immediate reaction to that. So I love how in the show they have the camera just stay with Ellie, like on her face as she just literally witnessed this, tears like rolling down her face. And yeah, I really love that they just kind of like they let that scene just kind of like stay for a little bit,
Yeah, you
before
don't
we
even see
eventually
Joel's
go.
face.
Yeah, yeah,
In the game, you see Joel's face and his reaction to it. In the show, you see
Only.
Ellie's.
And I think that's important because Neil realized that while this is Joel's story, this is also Ellie's story. While the game kind of made us, Ellie's a companion, and later on she becomes more important. But in this one, I think they're doing a fine balance and giving us both protagonist story, and focusing in on both protagonist trauma and goals and aspirations and determinations. And I think in this one, last one focused, no, not last one, prior to that with Bill and Frank, that one focused a bit more on Joel finding that purpose again. This one focused more on Ellie finding the purpose of the journey a bit more, uh a bit more certain.
yeah,
Really good,
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
I also, I
Fantastic
also,
episode.
I also really like how, just real quick, how we get more of like the banter between Joel and Ellie here. Um, Particularly in the beginning of the episode when Henry and Sam have the guns pointed at Ellie and Joel, and and Henry's trying to like he's trying to come on common ground with Joel with the guns pointed at them, and then Ellie's like he has an asshole voice or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's like tell it's okay, and he's like everything's great.
I don't like that. I don't like that tone.
that
Or he
was
just has an asshole voice, an asshole tone.
Yeah.
Right, Joel, tell him we're fine. And he's like, we're fine.
that was something that someone pointed out on Twitter, that like they were like, even when their life in this in even when their life is in danger, these two are still like cracking jokes. So like, yeah, it was a really really cool moment.
Yeah, you got
And
that a little bit
also,
too when they're venturing. But sorry, what were you gonna say?
the whole I don't think we talked about it last night, but the whole little ish Easter egg, I thought
Oh yeah.
was really really cool. And like I just like kind of seeing it, I think after we finished talking, I went back and saw some things about it, and like actually like literally started like tearing up, man. Like actually seeing that place like fully realized, because it's not like, and Neil talked about it in the post show, that like, because it's a different format, they can't actually show like the progression of that story of you getting like the multiple notes and whatever. But like I don't know, like there was just something about like seeing the picture, and then of like, Ish and Danny, right, is the other guy, and then the kids putting, like, our protectors right on the picture, and then just like seeing these characters like in that space, but like emptied, like I don't know, it just really hit me really really hard in seeing it in the show. um
Same here. Yeah, when they arrived at the school, I started tearing up because of the stories I remember from that and just embellishing that in the game, but seeing it in live action with the drawings and everything, it hit differently. Um,
Right, baby.
yeah, absolutely, Cryberry,
yeah, I
Crybaby,
want to I want to
Crybaby,
Crybaby.
I
yeah.
want to I want to be I want to be talking, Mr. Oh, my tummy hurts.
Notice how he's not laughing anymore. Just-
Oh man.
Yeah. Exactly.
but I know I absolutely teared up at just seeing the school and everything. Yeah, I think there's something about like the empty classroom,
Yeah.
more specifically empty kindergarten, elementary school classroom that just really, man, it's harrowing.
It's that point that I was trying to make in episode 3, where I love, um this idea of like places where you get to see people like we'll use the example of Bill and Frank, where we get to see these two people like literally inhabit this space for like over a decade, and then they pass, and then seeing Joel and Ellie years later going into that place where these two people lived, for so long. um Yeah, it's almost like I don't know, like it's this weird feeling I get of like almost like a haunted, like exploring like a haunted place and like feeling like their presence like still there. And it was kind of like the same thing here where it's like I just imagine seeing like kids just running around this place, having fun or just playing with each other, and then fast forward to present day, and now Joel and Ellie are literally walking through these halls, right? Like I don't know, it's like this weird eerie feeling because it's like that like some years ago before Ellie and Joel showed up that this place was full of kids, you know. I don't know, it's a really creepy feeling, but I love when shows, games, whatever can have that kind of like that feeling of like past and future kind of like melding together a little bit. It's always like really really cool. Um but
Yeah.
yeah.
I love it. What a great show, guys! Like what a banger! Like why years
My
ago
man
has a
dropped
show
the
this good?
deuce just now. All that pent up energy. What's going?
God.
Oh
No,
no.
like it's just that like how often can you just say, damn, this is a good ass show. Like he made now, aside from Better Call Saul, like how's this so good, bro? God damn. I'm happy, man. I'm happy Last of Us, the HBO show exists. I'm glad,
That's
man.
because
Makes me
Craig
nervous
Mazin's
for
such a great storyteller, man.
that
Yeah.
too. And it helps that that Naughty Dog was involved too. Um
So this show wouldn't have been possible if the Chernobyl disaster hadn't happened.
uh I wouldn't take it that far.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Just asking. I ask questions.
It makes me a little bit nervous because for God of War specifically because we had like a little bit of an update on that this week. That one of the I don't know like head honchos at Sony Pictures was talking about it, and she was saying that like that project is like they're working on that project now, like as we speak. And like we haven't heard if Corey is involved or if Eric Williams is involved in any way. So like,
Oh, are you
uh,
referencing something he posted on Twitter earlier this week?
who?
Corey.
What did he post?
He literally just posted a GIF saying "fuck it."
No, well, I don't know if it was in relation to that,
Oh,
but
okay. All right.
but no, I'm just saying that like we literally don't know if any of those people from Santa Monica are involved with the show. They haven't announced anything yet, right? So I mean, we don't know really anything about that show. So yeah, so I'm just like I don't know, man. I just feel like we should absolutely have like one of them involved in it. If The Last of Us is anything to go off of, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Especially when it comes to, I don't know how far they're gonna take that when it comes to casting characters, because we all know Daniel Bishuti and Christopher Judge are more than willing to be a part of the project. But I wonder if they do take that route, if it's gonna be something like The Last of Us, where we have Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson being more like cameos than anything. Not cameos, like they are characters from what we're saying, from what we're hearing at least. But if they're gonna take that route, or if they're really gonna cast them in the titular roles of Kratos and Freya. But I don't know. We'll see. The thing is, we don't even know where they're gonna take God of War show. Whether they're gonna do Greek mythology or Norse. So
No, they're going straight to the Norse.
you think so?
That's what they've said.
Oh, really? Okay. Well then,
Yeah.
geez. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a lot of story to tell.
Yeah, they're starting with the Norse games.
Interesting.
I don't know how they're gonna work in the Greek stuff, but they're starting with the Norse games. So, which
Yeah.
which I mean, to be fair, like even though I feel like the Greek games are really important to adapt, I just feel like to be fair, like I don't know if Kratos in that era is a compelling enough character to carry a season of TV. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like he's far more interesting in the Norse games. Like that is much more of like a better character to follow in a TV format than Kratos in the Greek games. I don't know.
There might be an adaptation liberty with that though. Um, I don't know how far they can take that, but I think you're right though. It's at least when it comes to just following him in the Norse story, I think it is more adaptable and digestible for people than just someone going around ripping off Medusa heads and stuff like that. It would be cool to see that. I mean, it's not like I don't want to see that, but I think just again having that foundation from where he was to where he is now to where he is in 2018 is fundamental. Like obviously the Blaze of Chaos moment was one of the best moments in that entire game, probably the best moment.
And it worked so well because we had the context of the Greek games.
Right.
So I just worry that you lose some of that stuff. That you lose some of that stuff if you don't adapt the Greek games.
Yeah.
Which it's a tough position that they're in. But again, this goes back to what we've been saying, is that's why I feel like you do all of this in general, the Norse and the theoretical Greek games animated. I think it would work. The Greek games like far more would work better in a animated sort of style, because I feel like it gives you a little bit more leeway to just like have Kratos just be the angry, screaming sort of character that he is in those games if it was more animated. Because then at that point it's like the story is more secondary, and then you can just focus on the batshit insane animation and the combat and the blood and the gore. But since this is live action, if you were to do the Greek games, it would put more of a spotlight on the acting and the story if we did do the Greek games, and it would definitely highlight a lot more of the flaws of those games if they adapted those in live action. So
For sure.
I understand why they won't do it, but it's almost like a lose-lose situation, you know. So I don't know,
Yeah.
it's a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see how it's gonna play out. Hopefully, within the next 5 years or so, depending on how far they get into production for these things. That goes to the same thing for Horizon Zero Dawn, what they're adapting for there. Or better yet, what's more we can guess in the more near future, The Last of Us Season 2, and see where they take that, because we all know those are very chunky stories. So we'll see, how they adapt it. Either way, I think it's gonna be super fun just to be a part of it, because right now, as we're in the middle of Last of Us TV show, I haven't had this much fun talking about a show and really delving into it since my college days when The Walking Dead was a thing and a little bit more Game of Thrones. So this is absolutely just pushing itself into the cultural zeitgeist, and it's super cool to see people reactions and to have parents texting their kids about the game, or developers tweeting out stuff like, oh, my parents are watching, they're asking me like what this is and what that is. Like, it's so cool to see what it is.
You have goddamn Ben Shapiro talking about it, dude. You had goddamn Elon Musk talking about it.
Oh
Jeff
yeah,
Bezos.
yeah, Jeff Bezos. Yeah, I know Jeff Bezos is pounding his desk right now. The fact that Lord of the Rings Prime is not at the point where Last of Us is.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
Like I can't, like, for him, for Jeff Bezos to tweet that out, it's wild to me, that the fact that all these people are like really tuning in and giving all sorts of praise. Besides Ben Shapiro and Elon Musk, they can go F themselves with this.
Goddamn, next thing you know, goddamn Mark Zuckerberg's gonna tweet about it too, man.
Oh
That's
man,
the-
from
that's
his
the-
cave.
Yeah, that's the holy trifecta right there, man. Or the unholy trifecta. Yeah,
I love
man.
it.
But yeah, man. I guess that's pretty much gonna do it for us. Also, Alpha, he brought up earlier in the chat, asking if any of us are gonna play Atomic Heart, and I am absolutely going to play Atomic Heart when it releases.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say absolutely not.
No, I've had my eye on that game for a long time. I feel like I've been talking about it.
Have you?
Yeah, I feel like I have. Maybe you were just on the toilet when I was.
Yeah, maybe. I was too
But,
busy farting.
But yeah, man, that's gonna do it for the podcast today. I want to thank everyone watching, whether it was live or after the fact. We had like 6 people watching at one point, so I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna get started with these outros. Macho, you got anything going on this week?
Yeah, I got some outings with friends. Gonna go visit a couple tonight and have some fun. But before all that, it's definitely gonna be some Hogwarts Legacy. just diving way more into that. Oh my god, I love this game so much. From everything that's presenting, Jesus, I'm getting it's such a beautiful thing to get warped into a open world game to be completely immersed in it, and this is absolutely just hitting that point for me. I'm so happy to see it being like as successful as it is over the past couple of days, and excited to see where they actually are like in the sales numbers, how much I'm really curious to see like how far they get there. But overall, enjoying that game. Gonna be playing tons more of it, and looking forward to the other stuff that's coming out at the end of the month. But other than that, it's gonna be a bunch of Hogwarts Legacy for me. What about you guys?
I mean, well, in my case, I'll be playing more of that sweet USG Shimura simulator, and get absolutely bonked in the head with necromorphs. I'll be playing more Marvel Snap, of course, every here and there between little breaks at work. But tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'm gonna go out with some friends and probably just have food, some drinks, and play a little bit of Top Golf. And I don't know. We'll see how the weekend unfolds, and the rest of the week, working games, baby, more games, and more Persona 4 Golden, baby, because that game is long, baby. But yeah, how about you, Soul?
Yeah, same thing with me, playing more Hogwarts Legacy. Um, and just working on this video for the channel, the project that I've been working on. This thing is kicking my ass, guys. This thing
Yeah.
is tough. Yeah, this thing is tough,
I
but
saw the private videos, man. You're playing with dangerous game right there.
Yes,
oh, what do you
sir.
mean?
You got a lot in the pipeline.
Oh, yeah. I had to capture like a lot of footage for it.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Macho?
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's gonna be sitting at his desk a lot for over the next.
Trust me, I have been. I have been.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
yeah, man. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for us. We will catch you guys next week for episode 91. And yeah,